Mighty companions, this is Earl Purdy. Welcome to Hardcore Course in Miracles on Facebook Live. This Thursday evening Course in Miracles class is called Hardcore Course in Miracles. And I want to welcome my mighty tribe members, my mighty companions. We are going to talk about the SANE curriculum. What is the curriculum of sanity? What is the SANE curriculum? That's what we're going to talk about. How can you tell when you are learning the SANE curriculum based on sanity? And we're bringing in our mighty companions. Remember, you need not believe the ideas. You need not accept the ideas. Some of the ideas are going to be hard to believe, and some of the ideas are going to be quite startling. But you are not asked to judge the ideas at all. You're not asked to judge the ideas at all. Their using the ideas will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true. This is Hardcore Course in Miracles. It's primarily aimed at students of A Course in Miracles that are studying the Course in Miracles. I've had over 38 years of sharing and studying A Course in Miracles, and I call it Hardcore Course in Miracles because it's so profoundly simple that sometimes the Course in Miracles can seem like it's complex. So we're going to go deep together in the Course in Miracles. So take a breath so that you can allow yourself to get centered. So take a moment and breathe. We are going to be on page 225 in the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles. Page 225, Chapter 12, the SANE curriculum in A Course in Miracles on page 225 in the Foundation for Inner Peace version. I'm Earl Purdy. Welcome to Hardcore Course in Miracles. We are going to go deep, and you know how profound we can get. And Diana, I'm excited. I'm excited to be talking to my mighty companions. It's so good to see you. So breathe right now. It's Brother John Christmas, and we're going to go deep into the Course in Miracles, the SANE curriculum on page 225. And it takes about 15 minutes. Hey, Tosh, love you. Glad you're online. It's going to take about 15 minutes to tune in. Whenever you start hearing the Course in Miracles, I've been doing this for a long time. And our ego, the part of us that doesn't want to hear the truth, that part of us absolutely takes a minute to settle into what the Course in Miracles is teaching. And like I said, I do the Thursday night class, especially for Course in Miracles students who want to take advantage of almost 4 decades of me working with this material. And I want you to hear something I want to say to you right now. The Course in Miracles works. If you really want to see miracles of healing and miracles of peace inside of you, as well as also see some awesome external things that seem to happen when you're studying the Course, then let me tell you, this is the curriculum that will produce miracles in your life. It's guaranteed if you allow yourself to hear it. If you allow yourself to hear it, not analyze it. This is not an analyzation class. You're going to be disappointed if you think I'm going to analyze the Course in Miracles. What I'm going to do is try to be a clear conduit to hear the message that's being given to us through the Course in Miracles. Page 225 in the text, Foundation for Inner Peace, Chapter 12, Section 5, the same curriculum. The same curriculum. So as people come online, let them know where we're located. All right. Now, the key for you Course in Miracles students, the key to getting a Course in Miracles is allowing yourself to hear it. It's very important to allow yourself to hear it. There are 4 stages to accepting the truth. First, you have to hear it. Then you repeat it over and over again to yourself when there's a new idea or a new way of thinking that you really want to get. You have to hear the new ideas. Then you have to repeat the ideas over and over. Then you keep on repeating the ideas over and over until you start to seriously consider the truth of the ideas, even if you have some reservations. And then the 4th stage of accepting a new idea is that after you repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until you start to consider it and you start to accept it with some reservations, then you finally accept it. Do you know that the only reason why you think the way you think is because you learn to think that way? The reason why you believe the way you believe is because you learned to believe that way. That's a very important point. The Course in Miracles teaches that perception is learning, that what you see is a result of what you have learned. How you see things is the result of how you have learned to see things. So if you want to see things differently, you need new learning. New learning is going to be different learning. Different learning may bring up resistance because it's different from what you have taught yourself or what you've been taught. One of the ways you can tell when you have not learned correctly, one of the ways you can tell when you do not see things correctly is by how you feel. So if you're feeling a lack of peace, if you're feeling guilt, if you're feeling anger, if you're feeling fear, and you're upset, that is your clue that you are misinterpreting whatever it is you're upset about. Don't trust your fear. And again, I'm just telling you what the Course in Miracles says is the truth. And I know there can be a lot of yes, buts, yes, but, but I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm just here to deliver a message, and hopefully you will become so inspired that you will dig deeper into this for yourself, and then your own higher power, called the Holy Spirit, will take you through this curriculum. So what we want to do, and what I want to do, is be a clear conduit for you to hear what it's saying. Okay, so I'm going to start out with the first paragraph, and I'm going to go excruciatingly slow because it's much more important that we hear what's being said and remember what's being said, because the first stage to changing your mind is that you have to hear what the Course is saying. So the very first line in the first paragraph in the same curriculum, the very first line is, only love is strong. Only love is strong. So the Course is saying the only thing that is strong is love. Now, why is it that love is strong? What makes love strong? Well, whenever you read the Course in Miracles, it explains itself as it goes along. So there's no need for a person to try to interpret the Course on their own. The Course in Miracles interprets itself. So only love is strong because it is undivided. Only love is strong. So the only thing in a person's life that's strong is love, because when it's love, love is undivided. So that's the first point. What? Love is strong. Why is love strong? Love is strong because love is not divided. Now, what is the characteristics of a strong person? What is the main characteristic of a loving person? Because a loving person is a strong person. So the Course in Miracles says, the strong do not attack. So what is the characteristic of a really strong person? A really strong person does not attack. Why is it that a strong person does not attack? A really strong person does not attack because a really strong person sees no need to do so. So if I'm a strong person, I don't attack anybody. And the reason why I don't attack anybody is because I don't see any reason to attack anybody. I don't see any need to attack anybody. Why? Because I'm strong. So really, one of the most powerful characteristics of someone that's strong is that someone that is strong does not attack. Someone that's strong does not walk around in anger, going off on people all day long. A strong person is a peaceful person because a strong person does not see any need to attack. So how can I tell when I'm being strong? How can you tell when you're being strong according to A Course in Miracles? You don't attack. You're not angry all the time. You're not attacking all the time. Now, what is it that causes people to attack? What is it that causes a person to lash out in anger? What is it that causes you to get angry? What is it that causes you to attack according to A Course in Miracles? Well, it says, before the idea of attack can enter your mind, before the idea of attack, before the idea of anger, before the idea of upset can enter your mind, before attacking and anger even comes up in your mind, you must have perceived yourself as weak. So the Course in Miracles is telling me that, you know what, Earl, before you can get angry, before you can attack, before you can go off on anybody, what happened was that you saw yourself as weak. So when you see yourself as weak, when you don't see yourself as strong, when a person does not see themselves as strong, when a person sees themselves as weak, when a person feels weak, that's when the idea of attack enters their mind. So before someone attacks someone, before someone murders someone, before someone goes off on someone, they saw themselves as weak first. So how does that work? Well, first I see myself as weak. First I think somebody has hurt me. First I tell myself that somebody has done something to hurt me. I see myself as weak. Then as soon as I see myself as weak, then I have the idea of attack. So the reason why there appears to be so much attack in the world is because there are so many people that see themselves as weak. There are so many people that see themselves as victims. There are so many people that see themselves as lacking, because before the idea of attack, before that can even enter a person's mind, what has happened? That person has seen themselves as weak. So if you are seeing yourself as weak, you are prone to anger and you are prone to attack. So what is one of the main things you can do to control your temper? What is the main thing that a person can do to get rid of anger and attack? One of the main things that you can do to get rid of anger and attack is you must stop seeing yourself as weak. You must stop seeing yourself as weak. You must stop seeing yourself as a victim. You must stop seeing yourself as a victim. If you want to stop getting angry, if you want to stop getting angry, if you want to stop getting upset, if you want to stop attacking, then you must stop seeing yourself as weak. So before the idea of attack can enter your mind, before the idea of attack can enter my mind, before the idea of attack can enter my mind, before the idea of attacking, getting angry, getting upset, before that happens, then I must see myself as weak. So if I see myself as weak, I'm going to attack. If I see myself as weak, I'm going to attack. If you see yourself as lacking, if you see yourself as threatened, if you see yourself as weak, then you know at some point, if you keep on doing that, you're going to start going off on people. You're going to start going off. You're going to start attacking. You're going to start hurting yourself or trying to hurt others. And if you are strong, you don't attack. If you're strong, you're not going off on people all the time. If you're strong, you're not angry all the time. Because a strong person doesn't see any need to get angry. A strong person does not see any need to attack. A strong mind doesn't see any need to attack. A strong man, a strong person doesn't see any need to attack. Now, because you attacked yourself, I'm in paragraph 1, chapter 12, section 5, paragraph 1. Before you attacked yourself and believed that the attack was effective, because you attacked yourself and believed that the attack was effective, because you attacked yourself and believed that the attack was effective, the Course in Miracles says that you behold yourself as weakening. You behold yourself as weakened. Okay, I like to use myself as an example a lot of times, and I'll tell you why. Whenever you are talking to someone and you use the word you, sometimes that really brings up more defensiveness. So when there's a point you want to get across to somebody, or if there's something you want to share or communicate to a person, try to speak in terms of I instead of saying you. So what does that mean? Let me give you an example. If I'm full of love, then I know I'm a strong person. If I'm full of love, which means I'm strong, then that means I'm not going to be attacking you and blaming you and projecting on you for what I'm experiencing. Because I don't see any need to attack you, because I'm loving myself. And since I'm loving myself and I'm keeping my peace, that makes me a strong being. That makes me a strong person. Now, if I do find myself wanting to attack, if I do find myself getting angry, then that's because I saw myself as weak first. First, I see myself as weak. First, I see myself as threatened in some way. First, I have to see it as if somebody else is doing something to me before the idea of attack is going to come up in my mind. Before I get angry, I see myself as weak. Before a person gets angry, they see themselves as weak. Now, when you see yourself as weak, the Course in Miracles says that you attacked yourself. You see, if I see myself as weak, if I see myself as lacking, if I see myself as not enough, then that means I'm attacking myself. I'm actually attacking myself when I think that I'm a weak person. I'm actually attacking myself when I see myself as lacking in some way. So before I can attack you, I have to see myself as weak. When I see myself as weak, I am attacking myself. And so therefore I feel weak. So the Course says, then that means you believe that the attack was effective. And why is it that you believe anger and attack is effective? It's because you behold yourself as weakened. So that's very powerful. So I'm going to make sure that we hear this completely. Before I can go off on somebody, I got to see myself as weak. But if I see myself as weak, then I'm attacking myself. If I'm attacking myself, then I'm going to feel like that was effective. Why? Because I feel weak. So I see myself as weakened. Now, it says, no longer perceiving yourself and your brothers as equal and regarding yourself as weaker, you attempt to equalize the situation. So let's go back. We're going to hear it. The Course in Miracles is very simple. It's so profoundly simple that it will blow your mind. Okay, so let me put it this way. I see myself as weak, so I won't attack everybody else around me. I believe the attack was effective because I see myself as hurt. I see myself as weakened. If I see myself as weakened, then I no longer see myself as equal to you. It looks like you are stronger than me, that you somehow okay, and I'm the one that's been hurt. So I don't regard myself as strong as you anymore, so I see myself as weaker. So if you see yourself as unequal, if you see yourself as weaker than the people around you, if you see yourself as weaker or not as strong as somebody else, The Course in Miracles says you are going to attempt to equalize the situation. You are stronger than me, then I need to equalize the situation. I believe that I'm weaker than you, then I'm going to try to equalize the situation. And I'm going to try to equalize the situation by attacking you. You use attack to do so. So what does it mean when that center says you use attack to do so? You use attack to attempt to equalize the situation because you believe that attack was successful in weakening you. So this paragraph describes to us the whole process of anger. This paragraph defines how anger and attack happens and how it operates. This is just one paragraph. This is just one paragraph. The first paragraph. The Course in Miracles is like the cheesecake of truth. You know how a cheesecake is so rich that you can only eat just so much of it and you have to stop? The Course in Miracles is like the cheesecake of truth. One paragraph of the Course in Miracles can be more powerful than a whole chapter of other books. Because the temptation when we are studying A Course in Miracles is to try to rush through it, and not only rush through it, but to analyze it rather than listening to what the Course in Miracles is saying. My purpose is to make, thank you, Dana, my purpose is to make the Course in Miracles come alive. Your job is also to be a conduit and a communicator of truth. So I like to use real life situations in this dream to kind of emphasize how this works. So let's act it out. Okay. If I'm a loving person, I'm a strong person. If I'm a strong person, I don't see any need to attack you. But before I can attack you, the idea that I'm weak must have entered my mind. And since I'm thinking I'm weak, then I've attacked myself. So because I feel weaker, I feel like attack is effective. How do you know that you believe that attack is effective? Because you behold yourself as weakened. At the point that you see yourself as weak, you no longer see yourself and the other person as equal. So you see yourself as weaker. Then when a person sees themselves as weaker than another person, then they attempt to equalize the situation. And the person attempts to equalize the situation by doing what? Attacking the other person. Because they believe that attack is what weakened them. So they think attacking the other person will make the other person weak. So people who are full of anger, people who are full of resentment, people who are full of insecurity, people who are full of lack, people who are full of fear thinking, they go around attacking everybody because they feel like they are weak and they want to make other people as weak as they are. Because if I can make you as weak as I am, I think I have now equalized the situation. And that is the challenge. That is the challenge of hanging around and being around people who feel like they're weak and who don't feel like they are strong. Because a person who feels weak, a person who feels insecure, their ego is going to try to equalize the situation by attacking other people, criticizing other people, and judging other people, trying to bring them down to their level because they believe that attack was successful in weakening them. Do you know the ironic thing? The most ironic thing is the reason why I attacked and went off on somebody else in the first place is because I saw myself as weak. So how do you get rid of anger? How do you get rid of attack? How do you control your anger? How do you stop getting angry and upset and attacking? The Course in Miracles said it in the first paragraph. You see yourself as strong. You see yourself as loving. A person who sees themselves as a loving person is a person who sees themselves as a strong person. And a strong person doesn't see any need to attack and go off on everybody around them because they're trying to equalize the situation. That is what is happening. Did you get it? Did you hear it? Did you hear what I said? Did you hear me? Okay. All right. So Demola says, yes, we are cheesecake companions of truth. And Diana says, this is an insane cycle. It's important that you understand that, like Peter says, the more you attack, the weaker you become. The more angry you get, the more weaker you become. The more weaker you become, the more you attack. The more you attack, the more you see yourself as weak. The more you see yourself as weak, the more you attack. The more you attack, the more you see yourself as weak. The more you see yourself as weak, the more you attack. The more you get angry and attack, the more you see yourself as weak. The more you see yourself as weak, the more you get angry and attack. So do you understand the vicious cycle of that? So how do you get out of that vicious cycle? How do you stop getting angry so much? How do you stop getting angry and upset so much? You loop around to the very beginning of the paragraph, which is, only love is strong. Only being loving is strong. A strong person is loving. A strong person is freeing. And a person that is strong doesn't see any need to go off and judge and condemn and attack. So that is why we never have to wonder. That is why God would never attack us. That's why God would never try to hurt us. The reason why we never have to fear the wrath of God, the reason why you never have to be afraid of the reason why you never have to be afraid that God would punish you is because God is not weak. God is love, and love is strong, and whatever is strong doesn't see any need to attack. So God would never see any need to hurt you or punish you or attack you because God is strong. There's not a doggone thing you can do to hurt God. There's nothing you can do to hurt a loving being, because a loving being does not see themselves as weak. And so a truly loving being would never truly attract attack. Before there can be attack, you have to see yourself as weak. If you see yourself as weak, there's a part of you that's going to want to attack and judge other people in order to equalize the situation, because you believe that attack was successful in weakening you. And because a person feels like they are weak, then they try to equalize the situation by bringing everybody else down to their level. So since God doesn't see anything but love, God would never feel like there would be any need to attack, according to the Course in Miracles. That's why you know that God is only love. A loving person is a peaceful person. A loving being is a peaceful being. A loving being is a peaceful being. A strong being is a peaceful, loving being. Okay, some of the comments I'm seeing is, one comment is, there's no such thing as God's wrath. God is strong. Love does not hurt or condemn. We always put our junk on God when it really is our junk. Kathy tells Joanne that she's a strong, loving being. We are seeing now. God doesn't perceive any lack we've made up. It's what Diana says. And also agreed with Peter that it's our junk that we keep trying to put on God and other people. Alita, I am glad that the way that I'm doing this is helping you in the clarification of what this section is teaching. Kathy says, junk in our trunks, so you need to trade that car in. God is only love. Okay, so let's go to the next paragraph. I'm going to read through it, and then I'm going to go back through it, and we are going to get the directions that higher power is trying to give us in this section. This is hardcore Course in Miracles. This class is for people who want to hear what the truth is saying and want to get clear about what we're being taught so that we can learn how to apply it. Paragraph 2 says, that is why the recognition of your own invulnerability is so important in the restoration of your sanity. So if you want to restore your sanity, the thing that's most important, if you want to be a sane mind, if you want to have a sane mind, if you want to be a strong person, if you want to be a loving person, the one thing that you must recognize is your own invulnerability. So the more you recognize your own invulnerability, the more you recognize that who you really are, the spiritual being that you really are, not the human body identity, but the spiritual being that you really are, can never be hurt. Your true self, your divine self, your real self is invulnerable. Nobody can hurt your real self. Nothing can hurt your truly loving self. There is nothing that can hurt my real self. My real self cannot be threatened. My real self cannot be hurt. My real self is invulnerable. Tell yourself that. My real self is invulnerable. My real self is invulnerable. My real self cannot be hurt. My real self cannot be hurt. My real self is strong. My true self is strong. My real self is strong. My true self is strong. My real self is invulnerable. And if I was to recognize that my true self is spirit, that my true self is not a body, that my true self is consciousness, my true self is spirit, my true self is awareness, and my true self cannot be hurt. Your true self cannot be hurt. Why is it important to recognize that your true self cannot be hurt? The reason why it's important that I recognize that my true self cannot be hurt. Why is it important that I recognize that my true self cannot be hurt? The reason why it's important that I recognize that my true self cannot be hurt is because it's a key thought that I have to have if I'm going to be restored to sanity. So if I'm going to be restored to sanity, if I'm going to have my sanity, if I'm going to get in touch with my true sanity, I have to recognize that my real self is invulnerable. My real self cannot be hurt. Why is it important to recognize that your real self can't be hurt? Because it restores your sanity. If you want to be a completely sane person, which is the same as saying you want to be a completely loving person, then you have to recognize the truth. And the truth is, you cannot be hurt, you cannot be hurt, you cannot be hurt, your real self cannot be hurt, your God self cannot be hurt, your divine self cannot be hurt. So if you want to become more sane, if you're interested in becoming a much more sane being, which is a loving being, then you have to tell yourself as many times as possible during the day, my true self cannot be hurt. What I really am, spirit, is invulnerable. My real self cannot be hurt. Remember, the Course in Miracles is only talking about love or fear. Ultimately, it's only talking about love or fear. So that means that when it talks about the restoration of your sanity, it's talking about the restoration of your loving mind, the restoration of your loving self. The only person walking this earth that's sane, the only kind of people that are walking this earth that are truly sane are loving people. Loving people are sane. Fearful people are insane. Fearful people are insane. Angry people are insane. Guilty people are insane. That means that when I say insane, I mean that a fearful person doesn't recognize that they are strong. An angry person doesn't recognize that they are strong. A person that's full of guilt doesn't recognize that they are strong. So the Course in Miracles defines insanity as fear, having a fearful mind, believing that you can be hurt, believing that a child of God can be destroyed, believing that you are something that can be killed or hurt. Your true self cannot be hurt. So the Course in Miracles says, for if you accept in paragraph 2, section 5, chapter 12, it says, for if you accept your invulnerability, if you accept your invulnerability, what? If you accept your invulnerability, you can tell because you are recognizing that attack and anger has no effect. So when I say I'm invulnerable, I'm saying that me attacking myself or someone else attacking me has no real effect on who or what I really am. And you are not a body. You are not your body. Your body is your communication device. Your body is a communication device. It's an aid to help you reach the home where God abides. So the body is not who or what you are. You are love. So therefore, you are strong. So therefore, you, who you really are, can't be hurt. So if you accept your invulnerability, you're recognizing that attack has no effect, your ego has no effect, fear has no effect, guilt has no effect, anger has no effect on what you really are. So although you have attacked yourself, what did we say earlier attacking yourself is? Attacking yourself is seeing yourself as unequal to those around you, and attacking yourself is seeing yourself as weaker than those around you. Attacking yourself is seeing yourself as weakened. If you will notice, I am only repeating what these paragraphs are saying, what the Course in Miracles is saying, but I'm saying it in a way that hopefully you get a clearer understanding of what it is saying. And if you'll notice, I'm not analyzing anything. Check that out. I'm not analyzing anything. What I'm doing is just hearing what the Course in Miracles is telling me is going on whenever I'm angry and whenever I'm upset. And then the Course in Miracles says, if you want to stop getting angry, if you want to stop attacking yourself, if you want to stop attacking others, there's just one thing you need to do. You need to start telling yourself you are strong. I am strong. What I really am is invulnerable. What I really am cannot be hurt. And what I really am is love. A person who constantly reminds themselves that they are loved, a person who constantly reminds themselves that what they really are cannot be hurt. Once a person really accepts that they are deserving of love, that they are loved, the Course in Miracles says that's a sane person. And a sane person who believes that they are strong, and a sane person who believes that they are loved, that is a person that ain't raising hell. That's not a person that's giving everybody around them a hard time. That's not somebody that's projecting and blaming. So if you have anger issues and you are frustrated and you're always losing your temper, what you are saying every time you get angry, what you are saying is, I am weak. I am weak. I am weak. I am weak. And I am weak. That's what you're saying every time you attack somebody. That's what you're saying every time you get mad at somebody. That's what you're saying every time you get mad at yourself. That's what you're saying every time you attack yourself. You're saying, I am weak. I am weak. I'm a weak son of a gun. I'm a weak son of a gun. I am weak. And because I'm weak, I'm going to go off on everybody else because I think that they've hurt me some kind of way and they've weakened me. I'm going to equalize the situation by attacking other people because I think attack also is that attack weakened me, that their attack weakened me. You hurt me, now I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to equalize the situation. I see myself as weak. I attack you. You attack me. I attack you. We make each other seem like we're weaker and weaker and weaker. So we attack and defend and attack and defend. And therefore I make myself feel weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. So the Course in Miracles says if you want to get out of that vicious cycle, it is the recognition of your own invulnerability, That's so important in the restoration of your sanity. It's right there on the page in paragraph 2. It says, for if you accept your invulnerability, if you accept that you cannot be hurt, you are recognizing that attack has no effect. So how do I show you that you can't hurt me? I show you that you can't hurt me by me believing I'm strong. And although I have attacked myself by seeing myself as weak, I will be demonstrating that nothing really happened. So if I don't attack others, then I am demonstrating that I'm still strong. So therefore, if you get angry at me, if you go off on me, what I want to do is realize that I'm strong. I'm so strong that I see no need to attack you back, because I know if I attack you back, then I'm reinforcing the idea that I can be attacked. And so therefore I'm weakening myself in my own eyes. And if I see myself as having been weakened by you, then I'm going to attack you. So the way that you stop the vicious cycle of attack is to stop seeing yourself as unloving, and it is to stop seeing yourself as weak. That sounds too simple, but it totally and completely works. That's right, Kathy. You tell yourself, I am strong, I am strong, I am strong, I am strong, I am strong. My name is love, I am strong. Demola says, whenever I attack my brother, it's like I've hung kryptonite around my neck. I am strong, I am strong, I am strong. Peter says, I believe in attack because I have been taught that I am a body and bodies attack. That is right, Peter. I believe in attack because I've been taught that I'm just a body, and a body can be destroyed. A body is destructible. You are not destructible, but a body obviously is destructible. Let me plug in the power here. So I want you to read while I'm plugging in the power, so that my iPhone doesn't go out, which is what I'm broadcasting through. Okay. All right. And sometimes I'm just going to pause. And when I pause, I may not say anything, because sometimes it's like chewing. You know how you chew food and then you have to swallow it? That's the way this is. Sometimes it's so intense that we just need a minute to catch our breath. And I want you to know that I am so grateful for my mighty companions. We are a loving tribe. We are an incredible tribe. And I love how we consistently meet with each other to reinforce the truth that we're strong. So you are a blessing. You are off the chain blessings. There's not a lot of people sometimes that want to hear about how strong they are, because they feel so weak that they think they need to blame everybody else for what they're going through. But if you're angry and you're blaming other people for what you're going through, that is just your call for love. And so what you really are cannot be hurt. What you really are can never be hurt. So don't you know that means you are still strong. You are still powerful. You are still strong. You're still strong even if you attack yourself. You're still strong if you feel guilty. You still are strong even if you get angry. No matter what, you are still invulnerable. Who you really are can never be hurt. Who you really are can never be hurt. What you really are can never be hurt. So you don't need to go around trying to equalize the situation by bringing other people down through attack just because you believe they've hurt you and somehow or another you've been attacked. You've been attacked. This section is about how to get past any kind of anger, upset, or attack in yourself. The Course in Miracles is saying if you're a person that goes around attacking yourself and attacking others by seeing yourself as weak and seeing yourself as a victim, then you're tuning into your insane mind. So when you're angry, you're in temporary insanity. When you are attacking someone, you are temporarily insane. When you look in the world and you hear about all the attack that goes on, you're looking at the result of temporary insanity by a person who sees themselves as weak and vulnerable, and they see themselves as just being a separate, vulnerable body. People who see themselves as a separate, vulnerable body, those are the people that attack because they believe that they are weak and that someone did something to them to make them weak. So how do you stop the cycle of attack? How do you stop the cycle of anger? You stop the cycle of anger by reminding yourself, I am still strong. No matter what happened today, no matter what I was tempted to feel upset about today, no matter what happened today that it looked like somebody tried to do something to me or hurt me, I'm going to remind myself, no matter what happened today, no matter what happened in my childhood, no matter what happened in my relationships, no matter what, I am still strong. I am still powerful. I am still powerful. That's how you stop anger. That's how you stop putting out attack. And if you stop getting angry and attacking because you stop seeing yourself as weak, then that stops attack in your life. And attack will fade out of your physical experience. And you will notice that you are never attracting anger and attack to you and disagreements and upsets the way you used to. I promise you, you will begin to see anger and attack fade away out of your life if you practice these principles of the same curriculum that we're doing right now. It's the sheer simplicity of it that makes it difficult for people to do it, because it's so simple that the ego mind doesn't want to do it. The ego mind loves complexity. Fear-based minds think everything is complex. People who are full of love see the simplicity of life. People who are full of anger, guilt, and grievances see life as very complex and drama-filled. So let's go to paragraph 3, shall we? Course in Miracles, text, chapter 12, section 5, paragraph 3. You're right, Rhonda. You are invulnerable regardless of how others choose to view you. That is absolutely right. Okay, Morris, I agree. All praises to love. All praises to love. Do you know that? Have you noticed that because I go through the Course in Miracles so slow, and that we use repetition, and I keep referring back to what the Course itself says, are you beginning to see the simplicity and how profoundly simple what the Course in Miracles is saying? We're having an experience of it right now. So now we're going to paragraph 3. Let me get a little, the body is thirsty. That's the way the Course says you should say it, the body. The body is thirsty. I love you. I love you. Thank you, dearest Diana. You will never realize what? You will never realize the utter uselessness of attack. You will never realize the utter uselessness of attack except by recognizing that your attack on yourself has no effects. You will never realize. So first, when I read the Course, I read it like it's written. You will never realize the utter uselessness of attack except by recognizing that your attack on yourself has no effect. Then you say it in the first person. I will never realize the utter uselessness of attack. I will never realize notice I closed my eyes because it's about remembering. I will never realize the utter uselessness of attack except by recognizing my attack on myself has no results, no effect. Anger or fear is also another term for attack according to the Course. So let me say it another way. I will never realize the utter uselessness of anger except by recognizing that my anger on myself, my anger has no real effect. So I won't stop getting mad at you until I realize that my getting mad at you is not doing me any good. That my getting angry and attacking you is not doing any good. It's having no effect. See, if I tell myself that it's useless to attack you because it's not gonna, and it's useless to attack myself because it's having no effect on what I really am as a child of God, as a spiritual being. Now, what I'm saying to you and what the Course in Miracles is saying through me is going to seem completely crazy if you think you are just a body. If you think you're just this body and just this ego. If you think you're just the program that you've been programmed with by the world, then I sound like a madman. I sound like a crazy man. And you'll give me every reason in the world why it's not true that you've never been hurt. You'll tell me every grievance that you have. You will show me things on your body that proves you've been hurt, which means you're not listening to what A Course in Miracles is teaching. The Course in Miracles is not teaching you that you are a human being. The Course in Miracles is teaching you that you are an unlimited spirit. You are an idea. You are consciousness. You are awareness. What you are is non-physical. What you really are is non-physical. It's really a question of identity. If you think you're only a human body mind, then this sounds crazy, because of course the body can be injured. Of course the body can be hurt. Of course the body can be destroyed. But the Course in Miracles is teaching us that you are more than a body. You are more than a body. You are love. And love is strong. Love is not divided. So you will never realize the utter uselessness of attack except by recognizing your attack on yourself has no effect. My attack on myself has no effect. My seeing myself as weak has no effect. My seeing myself as weak has no effect on who I really am. That's what it means. Seeing myself as weak, which is the same as seeing myself as weak, is an attack upon myself. And my attack upon myself is not having any real effects on my real self. This is totally different from what the world would say. If I want to stop attacking myself, if I want to stop hurting myself, what do I do? If I want to stop hurting myself, what do I do? If I want to stop hurting myself, I must see myself as strong. If I want to stop getting angry and upset and attacking myself and attacking other people, I have to accept that what I really am is invulnerable. What I really am cannot be really hurt. When I realize that my attacks on myself, my anger, my fear has no real effect on who I really am, then I will recognize the utter uselessness of attack, and then I'll stop. The way that you stop doing something that you don't want to do anymore is you must begin to accept that that particular idea of attack or of being attacked has had no effect on what you really are. So as long as you're projecting and blaming other people for whatever you're feeling and whatever you're going through, then you're going to see yourself as weakened by other people. If you see yourself as weakened by other people, then you're going to attack them. And if you attack them, then you are probably going to be attacked back, which will make you think you've been hurt or weakened by them. And if you see yourself as weakened, the Course in Miracles says, then you are going to turn around and attack. So if you want to stop anger, if you want to stop attack, if you want to stop attracting anger and attack, how do you end anger and attack? You end anger and attack by simply seeing yourself as strong. So how do you see yourself as strong? You see yourself as strong by seeing yourself as loving. Because at the top, at the beginning, when we first started going over this section, what did it say? It said only love is strong because it's undivided, and that the strong don't attack because the strong don't see any need to attack. If I'm strong, I don't have to attack you. If I don't think that you can hurt me, there's no need for me to try to hurt you. But if I do see myself as weak, then I'm going to be angry and going off and attacking everybody. Okay, so let's go deeper into paragraph 3. For others do react to attack. For others do react to attack if others perceive it. So if I see it as if you are attacking me, I'm going to react. If I see you as being angry with me, I'm going to react. Others do react to anger. Others do react to attack if they perceive it. And if you're trying to attack them, you will be unable to avoid interpreting them attacking you back, this, as reinforcement. So with the Course in Miracles, it's not about analyzing it. It is about hearing it. And you won't hear it unless you slow down, breathe, and then repeat it to yourself. Slow down, breathe, and repeat it to yourself. Okay, what does that say? What is that saying to me? Okay, if I believe I'm weak, I'm going to attack. I'm going to project. I'm going to blame. I'm going to go off on other people if I think they've hurt me and I think that they've weakened me. And if I get angry, go off and attack somebody, then they're going to react back to me. They're going to react as if I have attacked them. So they're going to probably get angry and attack me back. And if they get angry and attack me back, that's going to reinforce the idea of anger and attack in my own mind. So you cannot be going off on people and expecting them to not go back off on you. If you're attacking a person, they're probably going to attack you back. If you're getting angry at people and expressing that all the time, they're probably going to express their anger back. So don't think you can, I don't care how justified you feel in attacking other people and going off on other people, don't you dare believe that they're probably not going to do the same thing back to you. And therefore, both of you all are reinforcing the idea that you are both weak, and then you just go back and forth, making each other feel weaker and weaker. So the only place you can cancel out all reinforcement is in yourself. So the only place you can cancel out all reinforcement in the idea of attack and hurt is in yourself. You have to cancel out the idea of weakness and attack in yourself. You are the only one that can end attack. Your physical reality is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. Your physical perception of reality is a reflection of how you feel and think about yourself. So if I see myself as weak, if I see myself as a victim, then I am going to see things in the world that reinforce the idea that I am a victim and that I have been weakened. If I believe that other people hurt me, if I believe that other people have weakened me, my ego is going to try to equalize the situation. And it's going to try to equalize the situation by attacking back, because I believe that attack was effective in weakening me. So the only place I can, and the only way I can end this endless stupid cycle is that I have to stop seeing myself as weak, recognize that I'm more than a body, I am a spiritual being, I am a loving being, I am a strong being. The only place you can cancel out all reinforcement, did it say all reinforcement? It says all reinforcement. The only place you can cancel out all reinforcement in weakness, all reinforcement in the belief in attack, all reinforcement in the belief in guilt, all reinforcement in the belief in sickness and lack. The only place I can cancel that out is in myself. I can't cancel things out in you, but I can cancel thoughts of weakness out in me. Why? For you are always the first point of your attack. You are always the first point of your anger. You are always the first point of your fear. You are always the first point of your attack. So the Course in Miracles is telling me, you know what, Earl? You always attack yourself first. You are the one that feels your anger first. You're the one that feels the effect of your attack thoughts first. Whatever you feel, whatever you think, you are the first one to feel it. You are the first one to experience it. So if I am angry, I'm the first one that feels it. If I am upset, I am the first one that feels it. If I feel hate, I'm the first one that feels it. So if I hate a person, if I'm mad at a person, that anger affects me first. You are always the first point of your anger and attack. I want you to really think about that. You're the one that feels your anger first. You're the one that feels the weakness first. You're the one that feels yourself as a victim first. You are always the first point. You are always, always, always what? The first point of your attack. But if this has never been, attack has no consequences. When I first read that sentence, it knocked my socks off. I'm always the first point of my attack, and if this has never been, it has no consequences. So what does that mean? It means that you can never really attack yourself. Yourself is beyond attack because yourself is strong. Yourself is love. Yourself is spirit. Yourself is non-physical. Yourself is everywhere. Yourself is unlimited. So I don't care what kind of attack thoughts you're having. I don't care what kind of anger thoughts you're having. I don't care what kind of grievances you're having. I don't care what kind of upset that you're having. It has no consequences. It has no consequences to your real self. It may have consequences to your body. It may have consequences to your personality, your perception of yourself. It may have consequences to what you think of as your human identity. But your anger, your attack doesn't have any consequences. It doesn't have any consequences to your true self, to your real self. And that, my friends, is why it is so important to get in touch with your true spiritual identity. Woo! That paragraph was a booger bear. So let's go back through it really quick and hear what it said. First of all, it told us that a person is never going to stop attacking until they recognize that their attack has no effects. So the way that you stop attacking, the way that you stop getting mad is to tell yourself, well, it's not going to have any effects on my real self. I can be as upset as I want to be, but it's not going to have any effect on my real self. I can be as depressed and guilty as I want to be. It's not going to have any effects on my true self. And I've also got to remind myself, if I'm going off on everybody around me, if I am attacking everybody around me, then people are going to react to it. And if I'm trying to attack them and they respond, then this is going to reinforce my idea and my belief in anger and attack. So how do I cancel out my desires to attack? How do I cancel out my anger? Well, I have to cancel out all reinforcement in myself. How do I cancel out reinforcement of the belief in weakness and attack in myself? The Course in Miracles says the way that I let go of the reinforcement of the belief and attack and anger in myself is to tell myself my anger is not having any effect on my real self. My guilt is having no effect on my real self. My worry is having no effect on my real self. My belief in lack and loneliness and aloneness is having no effect on my real self. And I also need to remember that all of my anger and upset is an attack on myself. I'm just attacking myself. All of my grievances is just attacking myself. It's weakening me in my own eyesight. I'm the first point of my own anger. I'm the first one that feels my own upset. But it doesn't have any consequences. I don't care how angry I feel. I don't care how upset I am. I don't care how much I attack. I don't care how much I feel guilty. It has no consequences. It's not affecting my true spiritual self. One of the Course in Miracles lessons is I am spirit. There's a Course in Miracles lesson that you're supposed to say, I am spirit, not I am the body. I am spirit. So yeah, you can get angry all day long. You can be mad all day long. And it does definitely get rid of your personal peace, but it's not having any effect on who or what you really are. That's the main thing. If I want to stop getting mad, I've got to remind myself that my getting mad is not really accomplishing anything. My holding a grievance isn't accomplishing anything. My experiencing total lack is not accomplishing anything. If you want to let go of things that bother you, the way that you let go of them is to recognize that it's not having any effect on your true self. The Course in Miracles is giving us incredible insight about how to deal with anger and upset. This is a very powerful, very important lesson, don't you think? Don't you think that this is really touching in on some very deep, profound concepts? Kim says, I have been taking my own poison and expecting the other person to drop dead. That's exactly right. When you're attacking other people, you're really just hurting yourself, and it's not affecting them at all. Irene says, I'm spirit. Demola says, my insane attack on myself has no real effect because I'm spirit and I'm still strong. Elaine says, it makes it seem silly to get angry. You're right, Elaine. As you become more sane, you realize it is silly to get angry all the time. Renew says, I am spirit. Kathy is reminding herself that I am not a body. Kim is telling herself that none of these anger thoughts affect my spirit. Irene is saying, my getting mad isn't accomplishing anything. Diana is making people aware of my upcoming classes and what time they are. Thank you, Diana. Appreciate that. Jessie is telling herself, this is deep indeed. Very powerful is what Irene says. And Alita says, this is a very practical lesson. That's why I'm doing this, because I want to bring it to life. Gemma says, I can imagine that this applies to getting your feelings hurt all the time. Yeah, if I'm a person and I look at it as if people are hurting my feelings, what I'm saying is I am weak, I am vulnerable. I am weak, I am vulnerable. And if I feel weak and I feel vulnerable, then I'm going to get angry and I'm going to attack, because we were told that before you attack, first the idea that you're weak must have entered your mind. Peter says, contrary to popular opinion, my real self is not my body. That's right, Peter. It doesn't matter what people that are unaware think. What matters is that you recognize that you are not a body and that you are a spiritual being. Diana says, I'm thankful for this profound yet simple lesson. That's what makes it hardcore course, because it's so profoundly simple. Jana says, very deep truth. Baby, you're right. This is unbelievably deep truth. Elaine says, I held my anger for hours yesterday, talked myself out of it at the 7th hour. I finally exploded, and I regretted it because I realized I fell into that trap. Also tell yourself, and it had no effect. None of that anger had any effect on my true self. Irene says, I love you, Earl, and my mighty companions. I love you too, Irene. That means you're a strong person. And Diana says, I'm not the body. I am spiritual self, infinite, vast, Christ consciousness, unity, expansion self of love. Wow, that's a mouthful, and it's the truth. Alita says, I can relate to that, Gemma. I can relate to that because my feelings get hurt easily. So what you should say is, I hurt my feelings easily. I make my feelings hurt easily, but it's having no effect on what and who I really am. Terry says, great info for those who take things personally like me. I do too, Terry. I'm going beyond all of this also. DeMola says this stuff is our psychotherapy lesson 111. We are laying down on that recliner chair right now. That's right, brother. So this is, and so when we give each other feedback, notice that we're just reinforcing the ideas that we are hearing, that we're not using this as an opportunity to destroy the meaning of what we're hearing by constantly analyzing it. What we are trying to do is hear it and remember it. So let's look at paragraph 4. Paragraph 4, chapter 12 in the Course in Miracles text, section 5, the same curriculum, paragraph 4. The Holy Spirit's love is your strength. And the Course in Miracles says the Holy Spirit is your inner teacher, your inner guide, the voice for God, your right-mindedness. These are all Course in Miracles definitions of the term Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit's love, God's love, is your strength. So your strength is the love of God. God's love, your Creator's love, is your power. God's love is your power. So why is it that we need the Holy Spirit's love? Why is it that we need God's love? Why is it that we need the divine's love? He says, because your love is divided, and your love is therefore not real. First sentence in paragraph 4. The Holy Spirit's love is your strength. Your strength is God's love, not your ego's love, not special love. Special love is your weakness. Love that is exclusive, love that is divisive, love that does not include everyone and everything, that is not love. Love is not divided. Love is not something that you give out over here, but you don't give out over there, that you give to this person, but you don't give to another person. That is not love. Hear me now. What we call love is not love. Exclusive love is not love. Divided love is not love. So the Course says our love, human love, exclusive love, conditional love is not real. Worldly love is not real. And the Course in Miracles defines real as something that is permanent. Remember, I have been studying and teaching and learning this for almost 40 years full time. So take advantage of all of the devotion that I've given to this material so that you can save yourself a lot of pain. I'm telling you, special love, the way humans do it, is not real. It's not permanent. It's conditional. And so the Course in Miracles says, therefore, the Holy Spirit's love, that is your strength. My strength is God's love. My strength is God's love. Your strength is the Holy Spirit's love. You cannot trust your own love. When you attack your own love, which is the same as saying when you see yourself as weak, when you see yourself as guilty, when you see yourself as fearful, when you see yourself as separate, you can't trust your own love. When you attack it, you cannot learn of perfect love with a split mind. Why? Why is it that you can't learn a perfect love when you have a split mind? You cannot learn a perfect love when you have a fearful, separate mind. That's what split mind means. Because when you have a divided mind, that's a mind that's divided between love and fear. That's a mind that's divided between being one and being separate. That's a split mind. He says, you cannot learn a perfect love with an ego mind. Another term for the ego is split mind. So when you have a divided mind, when you have a split mind, when you have a fearful mind, when you have an angry mind, when you have a mind that projects, I'm giving all these Course in Miracles synonyms. The Course in Miracles says you can't learn a perfect and complete love when your mind is split, because when your mind is split, the mind has made itself a poor learner. So a frightened mind, a divided mind, a fearful mind, an angry mind has made itself a poor learner. So an angry person, a frightened person, a person that's full of grievances, a person that thinks that they are a body that is a poor learner. That's not a bad person or a guilty person. It's just a poor learner. So in the world, all of the rage and anger and prejudice and separation and victimhood and projecting, that's just a poor learner. That's all. You're just listening to and watching. When you look at the news, you're looking at poor learners. When you're looking at the fearful things that go on in the world, you're looking at poor learning. You're looking at the result of poor learning. Then the Course in Miracles says to us that this is what you tried to do. He says, you tried to make the separation eternal. The Course in Miracles says, you guys are trying to make being separate from each other last forever. You're trying to be separate forever. That's the same as saying you tried to make the separation from God, the separation from love, eternal. So why would we want to make the separation eternal? Because you wanted to retain the characteristics of love and creation, but with your own content. In other words, you have the ability to create, but you just wanted to create what you want, what your personal ego wants. So instead of being a creator that extends love, we want to be creators that extend fantasies and just extend our own little personal desires. We just want to extend our own little personal specialness. So I want to retain the characteristics of creation, which is that I can extend, I can create things, but I just want to create what I want to create. I just want it to be what I want it to be. So the Course in Miracles says creation, true creation, which the Course defines as the extension of love. Often people ask me, what does the Course mean by create? It means to extend love. To create is to extend love. Creating is not the invention of a car, the invention of a television, the invention of an airplane. The Course in Miracles says that is not creation. That is making, molding. You're taking what already exists and you're molding it into an airplane. You're molding it into a TV. You're molding it into a car. So the Course in Miracles, and it's temporary. None of it lasts. And so the Course in Miracles says whatever does not last is not true creation, because true creation of God, true creation of love, true creation of the Creator is something that is permanent, something that lasts forever, something that is totally loving. So creation is content. Making is temporary. So when you make something, it's temporary. When you create something, it lasts forever. And that's the difference between creating and making. So the Course says creation is not of you. Creation comes from God through you. Creation extends from the Creator, from Source, through you. Creation is not of you. And so the Course in Miracles says, poor learners do need special teaching. And what is a poor learner? A poor learner is a person with a split mind. A person with a split mind is a person that sometimes believes that they're responsible for their reality, and they believe that they are a victim. A person with a split mind is a person that believes love is real, but also believes fear is real. A person with a split mind believes that lack is real, and they also believe that abundance is real. A person with a split mind is a mind that perceives in dualities. If there's an up, there's a down. So a split mind, a frightened mind, a mind that thinks it is a body and separate from God and separate from love, is a poor learner. And the Course in Miracles says a poor learner needs special teaching. And the Course in Miracles, A Course in Miracles is a special teaching for poor learners who think they are a body and a spirit, who think they are responsible and that they are a victim. So we, in other words, we need special teaching. We need special teaching. We need special teaching. All right, take a breath. That was very powerful. And I'm going to do a quick review and recap to wrap this up. I want to really thank those of you who have made financial expressions of appreciation. Thank you. I am a full-time teacher, and God works through the people who receive what I teach and appreciate what I teach. Thank you for showing your love in a form that allows me to continue my teaching ministry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Those of you who would like to make a financial expression of appreciation, go to my website, Earl Purdy, P-U-R-D-Y, earlpurdy.com, and you can make one there. Thank you so much. I am an excellent astrologer and numerologist through the grace of God and through spirit. It was how I got on my spiritual path that eventually led me to be a Course in Miracles teacher. You have a blueprint for the intentions of your soul for coming into this life. There is a divine plan that is revealed through your astrological and numerological chart. The Course in Miracles teaches that the Holy Spirit, God, can use every skill and every talent that you have for the purpose of healing and awakening. So it doesn't matter whether you studied astrology or engineering. The Course in Miracles says God can use all your skills. And whatever blocks you have that you've reached your limit and you're ready to go beyond them, then that's what I help you do in a personal clarity session. So I want you to go to my website, earlpurdy.com, go to the tab that says Clarity Sessions, and it explains in detail what I offer, and I'm happy to work with you. On Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, I do the Way of Mastery on Facebook Live. On Thursdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, I do Hardcore Course in Miracles and Mountain Time. And then on Sundays, I do another regular Course in Miracles class. You can watch my videos, whether you are a Facebook member or not, if you go to www.facebook.com/Earl Purdy Live. Also, mighty companions, if you would really like to support my teaching ministry, and I really hope you see value enough to do it, do one simple thing for me. Take a moment to share my videos on your Facebook page. You just click share in the right next to the comment areas and just put it out there. This could help a lot of people. Put it out there. Also, like and follow my Earl Purdy page on Facebook so that whenever I go live, because I will be doing spontaneous classes, then you will be notified. And I also have hundreds of videos of my classes on my website and audios that you can watch for free right now. So take advantage of that. I am here only to be truly helpful. I'm here to represent him who sent me. So let's do a quick recap. Okay, so the first thing that we heard was that love is the only thing that's strong. And love is strong because it's undivided. And when you see yourself as a strong person, you don't go around raising hell and attacking people because you don't see any need to, because you are strong. You're full of love. Before you can go off on people and before a person can be attacking people, they have to see themselves as weak. And whenever you see yourself as weak, you are attacking yourself. And if you see yourself as weak, you're going to project, blame, get angry, upset, and attack others because you don't see yourself as equal to the people around you. You don't see yourself as as strong in love as the people around you. Then the person, he says, is going to try to equalize the situation by attacking other people because you believe that attack was successful in weakening you. So how do you stop attacking? How do you get in control of your anger? Well, the Course said very simply, you have to recognize your invulnerability. And so if you want to stop getting mad, if you want to stop getting angry, you have to start telling yourself that my anger is having no effect on what I really am. My attack is having no effect on what I really am. What no one is doing in my life is having any effect on who or what I really am. So even if you get angry, even if you see yourself as weak, even though you've attacked yourself, you'll be demonstrating that nothing really happened. So tell yourself, by attacking, by getting angry, I haven't done anything because I'm not affecting my true self, that is love. So once you realize that all your anger and upset and projection isn't doing a doggone thing, he says, then you won't any longer see any sense in attack and anger because you know it doesn't work and anger isn't really protecting you. Okay, the recognition of your invulnerability has more than negative value. If your attacks on yourself really haven't really hurt who you really are, if all your anger and guilt and upset and insecurity hasn't had any real effect on what you really are, then the Course in Miracles says, you know what? That means you are still strong. You are still loving. You are still lovable. You are still loved by God, by the universe, no matter what you think about yourself. So since you are still strong, no matter what your ego tells you, then you don't have to try to equalize the situation by attacking other people and trying to bring other people down. Then we were told that you're never going to realize the utter uselessness of getting upset and angry and attacking, except by recognizing that your anger and your attack is not having any effect at all on your real self, no effect at all on your true self. Then the Course in Miracles told us, you know what? If you go around attacking people, they're going to react and attack you back, which is going to attempt you to believe and attack even more. So the only place you can cancel out all attack and all anger and all reinforcement is in yourself. I have to stop attacking myself by seeing myself as weak, by knowing that I'm loved, and by knowing that I'm strong. And most of all, I need to understand that all of my anger and all of my upset, I'm the first point of attack. Everything that I feel has to go through me. And so everything that comes through me has an effect on me. If I'm full of anger, full of upset, I'm the one, I feel it in my body first. I feel it in my body first. And that attack is you trying to convince yourself you're a body. Your ego wants to convince you that you're a body. So how do you get past all of this? Let's keep it simple. It says by telling yourself that all of this anger and all of this upset has no consequences. It has no real effect on who or what I really am as a child of God. Then the next thing that the Course in Miracles told us tonight was that our real strength is the love of God. That the Holy Spirit's love, not our little human, sometimes conditional love. He's saying God's love is your strength because your love is divided. Sometimes you feel it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you give it, sometimes you withhold it. It's full of scripts, it's full of conditions. So the Course in Miracles says, your love ain't real. Yours love, human love isn't real. Conditional love isn't real. Exclusive love isn't real. That's just specialness. And then the Course in Miracles says, you can't trust a love that's always attacking you. You can't trust your own love when you attack it. You know you don't trust somebody's love who's always going off on you and attacking you, and you never know when they're going to project on you. You know you can't even trust your own love. Sometimes you love yourself, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you see yourself as weak, sometimes you don't. The Course says you can't trust your own love, especially when you attack it. Then we were told you can't learn a perfect love if you have a split mind. If you got a mind that's divided between the truth and what the world teaches, then you are a poor learner. And then the Course said, you know what, y'all have also tried to make the separation from God, the separation from love eternal. Yeah, you want to see yourself as a creator, but you just want to use your power to create, to fulfill your fantasies, rather than to use your power to create, to extend love and light and healing. You're trying to use your power to create just to fulfill your fantasies. You want to take the characteristics of creation, but the Course says then we want to turn around and just fill it up with our own content. Then lastly, the Course in Miracles said, creation is not of you. That real creation and real love is not of you. Listen to me. He says, poor learners do need special teaching. Poor learners, we need special teaching. Oh, I need special teaching. I need special teaching like A Course in Miracles. I need special teaching like A Course in Miracles. I need special teaching like A Course in Miracles. I need special teaching. I need special teaching. I need special teaching. I am love and I am strong. Let's say it. I am love and I am strong. I am love and I am strong. You are love and you are strong. You are love and you are strong. Your anger and attack has no effect on who and what you are. Mighty companions, you all are such blessings in my life, and thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your love. You are awesome, and I love our powerful joinings and meetings. Mighty companions, may the Course be with you. I love you. You are a blessing, and you are strong. See you next time.